How's everybody doing today? Just want to start the show off by saying that right now, Casemiro and I have the same amount of yellow cards in this contest. And it's only shocking that maybe I don't have one at this. How does Casemiro not have a yellow card in this game yet? Please tell me. Somebody tell me how this guy does not have a card yet in this game. He should be off at this point. He if you bet yellow card Casemiro right now, you must be fuming. It's crazy. Real Madrid's making this interesting. You know, they're just, you got to do what you got to do against City. You got to just kick them. And you got to make it a slugfest. And, right now, I think Real Madrid trying to get to extra time. 1-0 would be fantastic for Real Madrid here. I think City gets the next goal. It's going to be really tough going for Real Madrid at this point. Remember yesterday, Liverpool went back into the locker room and got some of Klopp's special halftime talk and came out and played better in the second half. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. It's a very interesting game. Be able to watch all the shows on Match Wagers Network. Listen, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Our subscribers are going up every day. It's pretty cool. This network is really just, still in its infancy. So, just keep liking, subscribing. I want to talk to you really quickly about this really cool Kentucky Derby betting guide. The teams come back out for the second half. It's worth $40, $39.99 to be exact, and it's yours for free. Get the inside track to the Kentucky Derby, prepared by the Racing Dudes and Winners and Whiners, be the most comprehensive, in-depth betting guide available on the biggest day in racing. The full guide will be available on or before May 5th. That's today. It's Cinco de Mayo. Oh, no, it's May 4th. Sorry. It's Cuatro de Mayo. It's May the 4th be with you. I saw all these things on Twitter. So interesting there. So make sure you reserve your free copy. Click the link in our show box below. And, Real Madrid almost scores right off the opening kick of the second half. Vinicius had a chance. Oh, look at this play. Oh, man, what a play that was. Oh, man. What a ball in from Carvajal. He's got to score, to be honest with you. He's got to score. This is what it is. Still 0-0. Aggregate still 4-3 Manchester City now. Second half just started. We'll see who gets this first goal if there is one. I expect there to be some goals in this second half here. Another chance here. On Friday night, it's Wednesday today, on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be joined by James Babbis. We will have our own horse racing show every Friday night at 9 o'clock. It's going to be really interesting. James is really, really smart, and he's legitimately one of the best horse handicappers in the world. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, he just, a day for him is, 3 out of 10. He's winning money all the time. He just wins money. I think, he's going to have this, this Kentucky Derby, which is going to be really tough. I mean, it's wide open. So, if you're a big horse racing guy, please tune in Friday night at 9 o'clock. I'll try to put the link in the show here tomorrow. And then tomorrow, we're also going to have a Formula One show with Jim Williams. Really excited. Formula One coming to America this weekend in Miami. So that'll be pretty good. All right. Make sure you follow Make sure you follow the Max Wagers Network all day. Midday Money, Sean Higgs. Morning Wood, Allie Burns, 1 to 2. Just Parlays with Chris King. Back to the window is Scott and Scott. 4 o'clock, it's me. 5 o'clock, game time decisions, Nick, Tim, and Lenny. All right. Caesars Sportsbook promotion, $1,100 first bet insurance. Place a first-time wager up to $1,100. Get it back free in the form of a free bet. If you lose, you must use our promo code ATSWINS CZR. Links are in the show box below. All right. I've got the scroll underneath. I do this Friday night show on ESPN in New York with my man Joe Wiz, and we talk about a lot of different sports. I get a chance to talk about soccer, but also talk about NFL. I was really good. We had a show called How to Bet last year, the NFL show, and we were on fire. We had a bunch of parlays. I think we hit about 70% of our bets. It was really good show. Excited to maybe keep that going in the fall. But we talk a lot about different stuff, a lot of different sports. If you're an NBA guy, or you're a basketball guy, or you're a baseball guy, or you're a horse racing guy, Joe's a big horse racing guy as well. Make sure you tune in. It's 12 o'clock midnight on Friday nights, Eastern time. You can do it on the TuneIn Radio app there, you see. And it's Saturday mornings as well at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And in the fall, we'll have a show. We'll have 2 shows. It'll be Friday night and Saturday night, Saturday morning and Sunday morning. This Friday night show repeats to the Saturday morning as well. So they play it. It's pretty cool. And we'll be on in maybe Los Angeles and Chicago and some of these other places. All right. I'm going to show you our show for today. Shot for Manchester City. UEFA Europa League semifinal second legs. UEFA Conference League, Europa Conference League semifinal second legs. Copa Libertadores. I think some of the people did pretty well yesterday on the Copa Lib games. If you see those scores from last night, I think Palmeiras 5-0 over Petrolero. The strongest 5-0. Atletico 5-2-1. Like that was a pretty good game there. 9 de Octubre. That was a very good game. Sierra 3-0. Independiente 4-0. So some pretty good results from yesterday in those games. So we'll look at those again. I have a Korean K-League game for you. Now, that game in Australia was terrible yesterday. I have this K-League game. I'm gonna look at this. If you can find this game, please, you gotta bet it. Talk about it. It's in Spain, the women's Primera division, Barcelona against Sevilla. When you see these numbers, it's absolutely ridiculous what Barcelona is doing. It's a borderline embarrassing. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Australian National Rugby, NRL Rugby. It's played overnight. Fox Sports shows it a lot. It's on TV. And I'm going to give you a little bit of it's not soccer. It's not football. It's just something, I look at, on usually on Wednesdays, trying to pick some winners out. And I think there's a strategy here where you can kind of, maybe win some money in the parlays. I've been pretty good at that over the last couple years with it. And yeah, look, man, anything you could do to win money is good. So, all right. Europa League. So here's the futures right off the bat. Once again, I think we talked about those yesterday, but RB Leipzig -143, Eintracht Frankfurt +250, West Ham United +500, and Rangers +1100. So Eintracht Frankfurt is +155 against West Ham United +175. The draw is +235. It's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Frankfurt leads 2-1 on aggregate. Both teams have been really mixed form. You see Eintracht Frankfurt A lot of draws, a lot of losses, only 2 wins in 10. West Ham only 3 wins in 10. No, these are not towns in Wales, but these are their actual form in the last 10 games, and they're not very good. The one thing I looked at when I looked at some of the numbers here, when West Ham has these odds, they're expected to win this game about 36% of the time with those odds. However, they actually win about 57% of the time when they have those odds. So a little bit of an advantage there. You got Rangers at plus 255 going home to play RB Leipzig at plus 102, draw plus 265. RB Leipzig leaves 1-0 on aggregate. The game in Leipzig was pretty easy for Leipzig, even though it was, only 1-0. You see Rangers form. Both teams are in decent form here. RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga has lost its last 2, but they've played pretty well in this tournament. And RB Leipzig is actually right now in 5th place. They're 1 point behind Freiburg. Whew, man, that's amazing. 1 point behind Freiburg with a much better goal difference, and they're now 4 points back of Bayer Leverkusen. We'll talk about Bayer Leverkusen on the weekend. I think they have an interesting game tomorrow. Thursday show we'll talk about some of those games for Friday, but the Friday show, remember, we're going to look at the whole weekend. Basically, so you can see what's coming up over the games, and we'll try to pick out maybe some games to target. Europa Conference League, you see the odds at Marseille plus 110 versus Feyenoord plus 230, draw plus 270, 3 o'clock. Feyenoord leads 3-2 on aggregate, and I'll get you the futures for that as well. Marseille sits in 2nd place in League One with a chance to lock up the Champions League in their next 2 games. They're 2 games from now, not this weekend. The next game is against 3rd place Rennes. So they can actually lock that up if they win the next 2 games. And obviously, if they win here, another chance. If they win here, they need to win by, 1 goal sends it to extra time, 2 goals sends it to, they will win the game. Futures for this. To get the futures, come back to that. I think it was Roma plus 200, Feyenoord. Roma plus 200, Leicester City plus 260, Feyenoord plus 270, and Marseille plus 350. So clearly, the odds makers give the chance to win the tournament from the game. The second game here, you see Roma plus 120, Leicester City plus 250, draw plus 255. It's tied 1-1 on aggregate. Jose Mourinho is a master in these cups. He just wins them. He just finds a way. You don't know how he does it. He's a magician. He did it with Manchester United, and City is just the defense is bending but not breaking here. Real Madrid is just piling the pressure on. Leicester City looks to be running out of a little bit of gas. To me, they're running out of gas a little bit here. They just need one performance to make a second cup final in 2 years. Remember, they won the FA Cup last year. They beat Chelsea. So I just think they're running out of gas. Obviously, on the weekend, they didn't play their starters. They lost 3-1. And I just think they're struggling, but clearly focused on this game. All right. Here's the picks. RB Leipzig money line plus 103. I just think Leipzig is a better team. I know it's in Scotland. Rangers are, Rangers, if they got to the final, would be an unbelievable story. I just think RB Leipzig is a better team. I think RB Leipzig scores over 1.5 goals. If you can get them at, plus even money, basically, thinking maybe 2-0, 3-1, something like that. I just think they're going to be able to get this done, and they're going to be able to score some goals. Rangers got to go for it. You're home. You're down 1-0. Get the first goal and you're right back in it. If RB Leipzig gets the first goal, the game opens up, and that second goal is there to be taken. I like West Ham money line. I just, I have West Ham future. I'm not going to give up on them yet. I think the, over 2.5 goals in that game, minus 114 is a decent play here. I like West Ham over 1.5 goals themselves, plus 148. I think if West Ham is going to win the game, they're going to score a couple goals here. I like Marseille on the money line. Just same thing as Leipzig. I know they lost 3-2 in the first leg. I just think they're a better team. They play in a little bit better league. There's going to be some goals here. I think Marseille scores over 1.5 goals. I think Feyenoord can be gotten, especially, in France. And the last game, I don't love this tie. Really hard to read. I just think the English league is a little bit better here. Obviously Liverpool's in the final. Manchester City's got 1 foot in the final right here if they keep this up. West Ham and Leicester, I just have them. I think I'm just gonna take them to advance. I don't know if it's gonna be a draw in that game. If you take them to advance, you have them, if they win the game outright, you have them if it's a draw and they win in penalties or in extra time, whatever it is. You basically have, a couple different chances to win the game. I'd rather take them to advance than to take them to win on the day, because obviously if they win on the day, they advance. And I just don't know. I think it's a close game. I could go to extra time. I don't love the game. That's probably my least favorite bet of them. I just wanted to give you some options on what to play. RB Leipzig is probably my favorite play. I just think they're better than Rangers. If I had to put them in order, I'd say RB Leipzig plus 103, RB Leipzig over 1.5 goals. Probably my 2 favorite plays of this group. The other ones I'm not as confident about, but I just wanted to give you those picks. All right. So it was a fantastic night. It's unbelievable. And we talked about this yesterday, I think. And I think right now with these games, it's just really your best bets here probably are those games in South America. They've obviously Foxy knows the league a little bit better, and we'll get to that in a little bit, Foxy. And if you think, if you see some of these games here that stick out to you, I'll make sure I pass them on to everybody. But I think there's a lot of value in those games. So we'll get to that now. Copa Libertadores games. Now, this is Thursday night. Remember, there's games tonight. We already talked about last night's games. Or we already talked about tonight's games yesterday. So this is Thursday night. You got Fortaleza. You got Bragantino against Vélez Sarsfield. And you got Alianza Lima against Colo-Colo. Right now from those games, 6, 8, and 10 o'clock at night. I think I would probably target Colo-Colo. I don't love all these other games. From tonight, if you remember from yesterday, I think we have so slow. The internet's been so bad lately. I got to talk to somebody, get this internet going. SUDAMERICANA tonight. LDU Quito is plus 160 on the road. Same as Antofagasta. Atletico against Defensa y Justica. Atletico is plus 108. I think probably my plays tonight, talking about Fluminense and Sao Paulo, the 2 team, and then Internacional. I think probably the best ones to go with. Internacional and Sao Paulo are Thursday, so we'll get to them in a second. And in the Copa Libertadores. We talked about Flamengo at minus 148. Boca Juniors and Always Ready. That's a very good game. I don't know about betting it, maybe Olympic Asuncion, but there's some games. I think last night was very good. I think that was a really good slate for us. So this is Thursday's games again. So Cola looks to be the one I would be targeting there. Here's the SUDAMERICANA games for Thursday. I wrote down all the games. I don't love a few of them. See, Garina plus 350 versus Internacional, minus 129. Draw plus 230. I wrote down Inter money line minus 129. I think that's a decent play there. Union de Santa Fe minus 500 over Orient Petrolero plus 1,000. Union de Santa Fe is minus 1.75. Asian handicap is minus 115. You can probably get that even better on some sites. And then over 2.5 goals is plus 112. I would probably take a shot on that. If you're going to bet the handicap, you might want to take a shot on the over 2.5 goals because, really to cover the handicap, you got to take it's got to be over 2.5 goals anyway. Ayacucho and George Wilserman, my favorite name there. Tough game to pick. Banfield playing Universidad de Calera. Banfield minus 1. Asian handicap is plus 105. And Banfield over 1.5 goals is minus 105. I'm not sure what your philosophy is on these games. When you're betting the Asian handicap at minus 1. Oh, someone finally got a card. It's not Casemiro. It's Carvajal. You can bet it minus 0.75 and take the minus 137 or minus 135 if you get it. And then if they win by 1, you win some of your bet. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take it minus 1 Asian handicap plus 105. Hope they win by 2 goals. If they win by 1 goal, you push your bet. And sometimes it's almost like a little frustrating to do that. But it's all, to me, I just, in my mind, it offers me a little bit more value. I'll take a chance on the minus 1. And then, because if you bet minus 137 and they draw, if they bet minus 137, they draw or lose, you're putting down more money, obviously, than you would at plus 105. And if they win by 1, you're winning some money, half your bet. If you bet $50, you're winning, 20 minus 137, you're winning, $20, something like that. So, is it worth it? Maybe. But to me, I'm not really sure. I like the minus 1. I like the minus 1 Asian handicaps. And I know we talked about this a little bit about the Asian handicaps against the handicaps, the minus 1 handicaps, which is basically minus 1.5. There's no really minus 1 handicap. It's minus 1.5. You're basically taking a shot. The difference is on minus 1 Asian handicap, you're not going to get as good of odds, but you push that game at minus 1. So sometimes I think it's better to take a shot, in some of these games where I think teams are going to dominate, maybe you take a shot on the minus 1.5, but all right. Come back to the rugby. So Korea K-League. If you can find these odds, I found the K-League odds just before I came on. Suwon Blue Wings plus 290 versus Ulsan Hyundai minus 105. Draw plus 220. It's 3:30 in the morning Eastern time tonight. Tomorrow, I don't know how you say that. If you're in California, it's tonight, I guess. 12:30 still tonight. 3:30 in the morning to me is already tomorrow. Ulsan tops the table at 23 points from 9 games and a plus 10 goal difference. Suwon has 7 points and a minus 4 goal difference, and they're down the table, I believe, in 11th. I wanted to show you this. So I will take Ulsan at -105 and take a shot there. I think that's pretty good value it offers to you. Barcelona women versus Sevilla women. If you can find this, please, you gotta bet it. Sevilla is in 8th place with a -16 goal difference. Barcelona has played 27 games in the league, 81 points, 27-0, plus 138 goal difference. 138. That is ridiculous. There's 154 goals between these teams. You could legitimately bet Barcelona -5 in this game, and it's probably, I don't even know. They're probably -2,500. But, some of these games, when you have the World Cup qualifiers and you have somebody playing Liechtenstein, Germany, Liechtenstein, and it's, they're -10,000 or something like this, but you can get it at -4, for decent money. You take a chance and you say, look, if they win 5-0, you win the game. So a lot of times, maybe they don't. You have to see what the goal difference is, obviously. I think Barcelona could just be, they're going to score goals anyway. If you can find this, I know some books offer this, with the women's soccer and the women's football. If you can find it, you might take a shot on Barcelona at -4, -7, whatever it is. It's crazy. I can't even believe that, though. Plus 138 goal difference. What's the point of playing? They're in the Champions League final. I know they play Olympique Lyon, who beat PSG in the other semifinal. I just happen to know because one of the girls that played for the school that I do the video for, Pennington School, plays for PSG. So Kyle Walker down injured. This is crazy, this game. All right. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this NRL rugby. This is obviously a soccer, football show, but every once in a while, usually on Wednesdays, I want to put some of these lines up for you. And I'm going to get the table as well, if I can find it. All right, there it is. Okay. So you got the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Look at these odds, right? Rugby is like, I'm sure if you know what rugby is like, football a little bit. Just you got to run the ball over the line, touch the ball down, you got to kick it, right? So in this NRL, which is Australia, the games are overnight. See, 5:50 a.m. Thursday, 5:55 a.m. Friday morning, 1 a.m. Friday night. I talked about what my friend Rick Fortenbaugh does with these soccer games, and he'll bet these games. He'll live bet these games, in the 75th minute or the 78th minute. They'll offer some team at -4,000 or something because they're up 2-0. And he'll put 4 or 5 or 6 teams together and get it down to basically even money for these parlays, and they're all these games that are 2-0. For these NRL games, I have been having some luck over the last couple years, and we're only in we're in the 8th week of, they play every week, the 8th week of thing. It'll go till October. And, all the sports books offer these games. And I think, sometimes, it's people focus on NFL and NBA playoffs, and Walker's off as Zinchenko is on, and Gundogan is coming on for, I don't know who 17 is. Kevin De Bruyne is coming off. They're playing a little bit more defensive, it looks like. So what they're going to do, you can kind of do the same thing. These odds here, -480, South Sydney Rabbitohs, Russell Crowe's team against Brisbane Broncos. Well, the Rabbitohs, 8 points, and the Brisbane Broncos have 8 points as well. But Brisbane has a -30 goal difference, and Rabbitohs have a +39 goal difference. So obviously they played tougher competition. When I see -480 and the teams have the same record, got its alarm bells going off, right? Penrith Panthers. This team, Penrith, is unbelievable. 8-0, 238. Manchester City scored. Mahrez. City and Liverpool final. Man, I loved Manchester City at even money, man. Hammered them. Have to cash that out now. So they have a plus 150 difference in points, right? They're playing this team, PRIMERA, who's very good, by the way. They have 5 wins and 3 losses. Look at the line, minus 455. Manly Sea Eagles, right? They have the coolest names too, right? The Sea Eagles. They got 4 wins. They're playing a terrible, this team, Wests, right? They have 2 wins and 6. They have a minus 68 points. So you can go through Sydney Roosters, minus 315. You see the games are spread out Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night. Although it's a lot overnight. Near post, Courtois got beat at the near post. Saturday morning. Now, if you want to put some of these games in some of your other parlays, I think that's a pretty good strategy sometimes as well. But I also think, you can maybe put together some of these, 3-team parlays. I'm going to go through right now and maybe pick a couple for you here. Look at this. Rugby League. So South Sydney, Penrith, South Sydney minus 480, Penrith minus 455, the best team in the league. And Sydney Roosters against Gold Coast Titans, a very good team, minus 345. That 3-team parlay pays minus 112. Pretty good value, right? North Queensland. There's also a game where Melbourne Storm are minus 2,500, which is crazy because the Storm are 7-0-1. So they're very good as well. But you can go through, and every week they have games like this. Every week, these odds. This week is a little bit crazy. I wanted to show you this because there's only a couple teams. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 16 teams in the league, right? So, each week there's 8 games. Here 6 of the games, and the other one's minus 2,500. So 7 of the teams are crazy odds, where you're like, man, this is crazy. So, but if you put these games together, now you could do all kinds of other stuff as well. Some of the stuff that I like to do on these games too is, I'm going to take, Sydney Roosters versus Gold Coast Titans, for example. You can bet the spread on these games. So it's minus 9.5. So you get 4 points every time it's a try, right? So every time you run the ball across the line, put it down to try. And then you get 2 extra points when you kick it through if you're not versed in the rugby scoring. But there's these cool things. You could do, some of these, you see Sydney, minus 315. Gold Coast. So Sydney has plus 18 goal difference, where Gold Coast Titans are a little bit further down, minus 56. If you can bet bands of South Sydney Roosters to win by 19 points or more, plus 195. That's the best odds, right? Sydney to win by 13 to 18, plus 460. Sydney to win by 7-12, plus 420. So if this game comes in at, between 7 and 19 points, and you have 7 and 18 points, and you have both of those things, you get plus 460, plus 420. You can make some money. You bet both of those 2 bands, and one of them comes out, you're winning a lot of money. There's a lot of different ways. You could bet halftime, full time on these games. Race. One of these things I really like, and I really like in the NFL betting. I know some of you watching this in the NFL bet these things, but the race to 10 points, the race to 15 points, whatever it is, race to 25 points in the NFL. I love these. We made an absolute killing on that NFL show, the How to Bet show in the fall, on the race to 20. We did all these games. You pick these games, and sometimes the spread is this, whatever, but when the Rams are playing the Cardinals and stuff, and you get decent value on a race to 25 points. If you just think, Tampa Bay played. I went to the Tampa Bay and Eagles game because my boss is a real big Tom Brady fan. So, race to 25. The Eagles weren't winning that race. Tom Brady with no chance. It was 28-7. Hey, 25 cashed in. So this rugby, there's a lot of different ways you can win bets on this thing. And you see, you put some parlays together. Maybe you just want to add, we said maybe you want to add a parlay, some of the games on Friday that are coming up that we'll talk about. There's a lot of games. Maybe these odds, Inter's probably going to be minus 300. Well, if you put Inter in with, Manly and North Queensland, all of a sudden you got a plus money parlay. I'm really big on that. Trying to find 3 heavy favorites. I know all these, a lot of people want to bet underdogs and play the underdogs. There's a reason Penrith is 8-0 in this league and has a plus 150 points difference. There's a reason the NFL teams, the top of the tier, the Packers in the regular season, and some of these teams are really good. There's a reason they're favored by 10 points, or the Chiefs are favored by 10 points all the time because they win. They win these games. If you don't like the point spread, maybe you take the money line and you take a chance with, you could take a point spread in these games too. Manly Sea Eagles, for example. We said South Sydney is minus 9.5. Manly. We'll go with the Thursday night game because it's South Sydney. It's the closest game. It's tonight. It's 5. It's so crazy. It's 5:50 a.m. tomorrow, but really it's like, I don't know, it's overnight, right? So South Sydney minus 12.5. So they're supposed to kill this team, right? Minus 12.5. But you can use the slider and slide it all the way up and down. So what you can do is maybe you think they only win by like 8, slide it down to minus 6.5 on some of these things, or minus 7.5, which is 2 tries. Remember, four points for each try. And you get it at minus 225. Well, man, if you put minus 225 in with Sydney now, so South Sydney, we'll do a Sydney double minus that, and then we'll go with Sydney money line. That's minus 115. We'll slide Sydney down to minus 3.5 just to win by a try. It's plus 109, plus 110. You got plus money parlay, 2 bets. And you didn't even have to take the money line. I think sometimes, with the NFL, and obviously still, once again, you can do this with soccer too. You can change the odds. You don't always have to take a money line. I know money line bets are safe if you think a team is going to win, a heavy favorite. But maybe you can do this with basketball sometimes too. Maybe just bet it down. Maybe you bet a line to minus 3. In these basketball games, minus 3.5 or something like this. When a team is a minus 350 favorite or something like that, minus Benzema offside anyway. Minus 3.5. If a team's favored by 10, they're probably going to win by 2 baskets, even if they don't cover, right? Probably, even if they cover, 7 points, 8 points, they're going to probably win by 2 baskets. And if they lose, you're losing your bet anyway. So what's the difference, right? So I think there's, it's something you can do. And I really like betting this NRL. Sometimes I get away from it because, I forget, it's the middle of the week. I get busy, but, it's definitely a different way to make some money. All right. So we'll go back over these games. Remember, Leipzig is probably the play for me, plus 103. If you can get Leipzig at plus money in this game, you definitely got to take it. And the over 1.5 goals at plus 100. I like West Ham, not as much, obviously. I'm going to still back them because I think they're the best team in the tournament. I backed them to win the tournament. I'm not going to stop backing them now. They're this close to going through. Over 2.5 goals. I think there's going to be some goals in that game. West Ham over 1.5 goals. Marseille plus 110. Marseille over 1.5 goals, and Leicester City to advance. From these games, I think you got to look at Colo-Colo. I'm not sure, what Foxy was targeting, but I think Colo-Colo there. I think we were really good on the Tuesday ones from last night. Gave out a lot of winners in that one, so that was good. I think here, target International, my money line, Union de Santa Fe, over 2.5 goals. Take a chance on that and minus 1.75 Asian handicap. And City's starting to dominate this game here. Banfield -1, I think, is the place. Remember, from these, go through and pick some pretty cool things to do here. Pick 2 or 3. Pick 3 or 4. You can do multiple ones too. Sometimes I'll go through and do the, I think the round robins don't work as well when you got, minus 480 and minus 455. But if you're gonna take that minus 480 and with a minus 11.5 thing and maybe make it minus 3.5, minus 4, you could do that. Maybe put a couple of those different parlays in round robins. Round robins are always an interesting way to go. I'm not sure what people's thoughts are on those round robins, but sometimes I like them and sometimes it just seems like you're kind of, if one or if a couple of your games don't win, you're basically wasting some money there. Remember Ulsan Hyundai minus 105 on the money line. They top the table. Suwon has been struggling right now. And then if you could find Barcelona women to score 800 goals, it's definitely worth a play here. All right. Remember to like and subscribe and ring that bell. So every day you're going to be able to watch. Oh, that was almost a really nice goal. We have tomorrow, remember, at 11:30 a.m. or 11:15 a.m., where we'll be taping we'll be doing a Formula One show for the show on for the race in Miami this weekend, and we'll also be doing a horse racing show Friday night, 9 o'clock. If you are a fan of horse racing, look, I understand it's the Kentucky Derby, and it's like St. Patrick's Day. It's like amateur hour. You go to, I'll go to Parks Casino, and there'll be like, everybody and their brother there. And I like this horse because it's got a nice blanket on it. They call it the blanket, right? And all that stuff. And I like this number and stuff. It is like that for the Kentucky Derby. And it kind of maybe for the Preakness and a little less for the Belmont, and obviously by the end of the time the Breeders' Cup is for the I don't know how he didn't score there. The ball was Grealish should have scored there to make it 2-0. But this guy James Babis is unbelievable. This is not amateur. This guy is a professional. He picks horses for a living. He's the best at it. This show on Friday night is going to it's going to give you some kind of, Grealish just missed again. It should be about 3-0 here. He's going to give you some extra information for you to go to the track on Saturday and win your bets. And we're going to do this every Friday night. So every Friday night for the big races on the weekend, we're going to be out there picking some winners for you for the weekend. So make sure you tune in Fridays at 9 o'clock. If you can't tune in, you could always watch it on YouTube. You can always watch the show. Here it's live, but if you can't watch it, we got 6 hours of great info here. You got Midday Money with Sean Higgs, Allie Burns, talking Morning Wood, talking a little baseball, just parlays with Chris King, 2 to 3 Eastern. Back to the window, Scott and Scott, 4 o'clock, you know who it is. 5 o'clock, game time decision with Nick, Tim, and Lenny. Well, if you can't watch the show when it's on, make sure you go to YouTube. Check it out, man. And you could watch all this stuff. Like, obviously, you're not going to watch this stuff. For this stuff here, these picks are for Thursday. You could watch the show. If you can't be here, go to the show, at night, or go in the morning and the next morning and say, hey, listen, what did he say? What did he like in that K-League game? I forget. You go on the show, go forward to the K-League game, and there you go. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. My Twitter is right there at the Prodigal Sean. If you're looking for some information on these games, you're like, I saw the lineup. It's an hour before. My phone is always on me. I have 8 Twitter accounts. I'm always on Twitter. It's my job. I do social media for a pro soccer team. I do some other stuff. It's my job. My phone is always on me. I'm always checking Twitter. Hey, listen, the Prodigal Sean, what do you think about this game here? I saw the lineup. I don't really like the way they set up. Yeah, I agree. I think maybe I would back off that game. Or, hey, look, this guy's out. Should I hammer it? Yeah, definitely. I think I would. Hey, listen, there's been a red card in this game. What do you think? Hey, jump on it. Those games, you probably got to do a little bit quicker. See here, Real Madrid it's going to be Manchester City and Liverpool in the final. Second all-English final and third all-English final in 4 years. Oh, Real Madrid scores! Real Madrid scores! There goes the bet, though. Damn. Rodrigo. We have 4 minutes. Should have cashed out. Too busy talking. He's offside. I think Benzema's offside. I'm in New Jersey anyway. I can't really cash out. Can't cash out my PA bets. I think he's offside. Nope, they counted it. Six minutes of injury time. Wow. Now at this point, you want Madrid to score 2 goals. That's amazing. City had this game in control. If Grealish scores, they win the game. It's over. And now they don't have to go through this. That's, to be honest, like, as a bettor, that's a thing that frustrates you a little bit. Oh, it's a goal! Real Madrid! It's a goal! It's 2-1! It's tied on aggregate! Oh my gosh, man. They're going to score again. They're going to win this tie. Oh my Lord. Oh, City has to be sick to their stomachs. They had the game won. It was over. Grealish just had to score, and he didn't score. I'm getting a million texts and calls, and there's still some time left. This is absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh. There's still 4 minutes left. I'm going to stay with you here. Man, I got to go tutor after this too. I'm going to be useless to that. Benzema has the ball. It's a corner kick. City is absolutely falling apart right now. City is falling apart. I can't believe this. Oh, man. Absolute chaos. We need Madrid to sign Ramos back for one game to look at this. To sign Ramos back for one game and then just come on and take out Mo Salah again like the 2018 final. That would be absolute chaos. I can't. Absolutely crazy. Manchester City has complete control of the game for 89 minutes and gave up 2 goals in 3 minutes. Complete control. I mean, they're in complete control. All they had to do was just score the goal. He had a wide open chance. Jack Grealish, they brought him on, wide open chance. It's crazy. That's this game. This game is not this game specifically. This game is crazy, but this sport is pretty interesting. Oh! Looks like we're going to extra time. And I don't know where to bet here. Real Madrid going to extra time at home for the second time in a row against English opposition. Foden should have scored there too. Didn't even get it on net. There's the Grealish chance. Cleared off the line. It's unbelievable. As Alex Ferguson said, football. Bloody hell. Absolute chaos. All right, well, we're going to go to extra time here, so I'll let you go watch that. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We'll be talking about Friday's action, going over the rest of this game, and we'll keep you posted on that. So make sure you tune in, and we will see you tomorrow.